Hey, today we're talking about 10 ways to generate customers as a car salesperson right now on The Front.
Thanks for tuning in to Lead the Teams, The Front.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Front. My name is Mike Phillips, and I will be your host. As always, please check out leadtheteam.tv. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel there. Also, go and check out the website at leadtheteam.net. I've got blog posts there, my audio podcast, all the archive of sales training and tips, leadership training and tips that I've done. And you can check out the audio podcast on Google Play, on iHeartRadio, and on iTunes. If you're watching or listening to this, please participate in the comments down below. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, ask questions, as often that leads to a really excellent future show. So tonight's theme, it's 10 ways for you to generate customers as a car salesperson. And this question came to me yesterday while I was training some car salespeople. One of the newer salespeople said to me, he says, look, everybody in the automotive industry or sales management and people that he's spoken with have said you need to figure out where you can generate 50% of your own traffic. Because the dealership is going to generate some traffic through their regular advertising efforts, TV, radio, online efforts, things of that nature. And he says, so where do I look for more customers? I'm a newer salesperson. I haven't been in sales and certainly not automotive sales. And he says, where do I look? So hopefully this is going to help some new salespeople. Hopefully it helps remind maybe some of the veterans of things you may have forgotten. So number one is work with the people that you already have in your database and know. Just call people back. I asked this gentleman yesterday, I said, well, who are the people that you've talked to? How many people have you talked to in the time that you've been here? He says, well, probably 60 or 70. I said, start with those. Call them all back. Just call the people back, thank them for shopping. Because just by calling back, keep in mind, in any industry, only about 50% of salespeople follow up even one time. So if you just call the customer back, if you make them a thank you video or send them a text, you're ahead of 50% of the game. And customers, potential customers, like people that will do what they say they will do. And it starts by just, if you tell someone you're going to call them back, follow through, call them back. And you'll be ahead of it. So work with the people you already have in your database or already know, including friends, family members, neighbors. Make sure everybody knows what you do. It's amazing when I connect with people on Facebook and they still, or any social media platform really, but especially Facebook. You go in to see what they do, and they don't even have their about me filled out for their current position. So make sure you do that. Number two. Ask everyone you meet for referrals. 85% of the American public either owns or is looking to own a vehicle. And that's a statistic I got on the internet. So if it was on the internet, it has to be true. So you've got to ask people, who else do they know that might be in the market for a car? Just work with the people. Again, this goes back to working with the people you know. Ask them for referrals. Ask everyone for referrals. Ask people at the grocery store if you hear them talking about a car for referrals. Who else do you know that might be in the market for a newer used car, truck, van, or SUV? And the thing is, the statistic for this is somewhere between 25 and 30%. So 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people are going to know somebody that is looking for a vehicle. So leverage that. Just all you got to do is ask the question. Number 3, social media. You have to be on social media. If you're in sales, if you're in automotive sales, and some of these may work for other sales venues as well, but I'm focusing on automotive sales. If you're in automotive sales, you got to be on social media. Pick 1 or 2 or 3 platforms. You don't have to be on 50 of them, but pick 1 or 2 or 3 that can be important to you and become the resource. Brand yourself. Make sure that the About Me section is filled out. Number 4, online video. This is, to me, I include this separate from social media because you should be doing online videos. That's where the internet is headed. People over time are migrating and watching video sites. YouTube is still huge. Facebook Live, videos just like this one. Become that resource. You need to get comfortable doing online video. Number 5, Networking groups. Join one, right? Get involved, participate in your own rescue, go out and connect with people. There are networking groups all over the place. And what you want to do is make sure that everybody in that networking group knows that you work in automotive. They have to know you're an automotive salesperson. And over time, as you establish relationships and you establish rapport in the group, you can become the go-to resource because people will know you, they'll like you, they'll trust you, right? It's the know, like, trust formula. So become that resource in the networking group for automotive. Meetup.com. If you don't have the app, download it and check it out. You can find a meetup group for just about anything in your area. You know, if you want to learn more about SEO or SEM or how to talk better in front of people, public speaking, then there's a group for that. There's a group for insurance agents and realtors, and that one's coming in my list. So connect with some of these groups. If you don't know where to start, download meetup.com and browse it, right? Just check it out. Number 6, hook up with a good realtor. Start with yours. If you own a home and you had a good experience, get connected with a good realtor. The reason being is when people buy a new home, they're in buy mode, right? They're already buying, they're making a big purchase. And often once people have moved into a new home, since they're still in buy mode, they start looking at new cars as well. Or consider this, if people are moving to a new home from out of area, I'm in Colorado Springs, so we're, heavy military area. So people move in from out of state. So for example, if somebody moves here from Georgia and you're hooked up with a good realtor or rental agent, then they're moving here from Georgia to Colorado. They might need a 4x4 or an all-wheel drive, or their needs may change, So realtors are a good place to start. And then return the favor to them, promote their business, exchange cards and such. Also, and this is still number 6 because it's about networking with people, hook up with a good insurance agent. Same theory, right? The insurance agents insure people's cars. Things happen to people's cars. Trees fall on them and other things that are not good. But as an insurance agent, if you have good rapport with them and you know that they're a good person and you're hooked up with them, you want to be their resource when one of their customers is looking to upgrade a car or replace a car that's got damage, etc. And same deal, you want to return the favor, right? Get a stack of that insurance agent's business cards. And when you have a car customer that needs insurance, that should be your go-to. So you're not just going to blanket it and hook up with like every realtor and every insurance agent everywhere. You're going to pick ones that you are actually connected to and spend time with and are comfortable with and are good human beings, that are good people that'll take care of your customers and you can take care of theirs. Number 7, create company purchase programs. And what I mean by that, my sister has worked for a large auto insurance agent. I'm not trying to endorse anyone, so they'll remain nameless. My sister has worked for a large auto insurance agency for a number of years. And internally, they have an employee purchase program. And so I got her to find and help me hook up with the right person so that as an automotive salesperson, I could advertise my name on their internal purchase program, on their internal website. And you have to create a value add proposition. Like, what are you going to do? Because everyone wants everyone wants the deal. They want the coupon. They want, if you're going to go into a company, you have to say, look, here's what I have to offer you. And expect nothing in return other than that advertising, other than that you become their go-to automotive salesperson. And so, like, for example, I years ago had created this purchase program for a large insurance agency, and it was set up so that they could pay X dollars over our cost, as well as then they could save 10% off our parts or our service, so they could get their cars serviced there as well. And the only hook was that, mention my name to get that deal. Me as the automotive salesperson, I'm fortunate to work for a dealer that lets us advertise ourselves in that fashion. And you just have to make sure if they have their company badge or they can prove they work for that company, then you give them the deal, you get them the coupon, and you get in with that. So that's a really good way for self-advertising. Here's one, and this is easy. And these are in no particular order. This is just the order I wrote them down in. It's not that one worked better for me or not. Use business cards the right way. Business cards are often used as the get off the lot free card, right? Like, hey, thanks, we appreciate shopping. Do me a favor, can I get a business card and I'll call you back? So car salespeople often use business cards very reactively. They say, hey, can I get a business card? I'll call you back. Yeah, here's my card. Thanks. Give me a call. And then they're allowed to leave, or they get to leave, right? Like I said, it's the get off the lot free card. Business cards to me should be a proactive customer recruitment tool. So like for me personally, when my wife and I will go out to dinner, I always have business cards with me. So when we go out to dinner, if I have someone that provides me excellent service, I'll always write a little thank you note on the back of my business card that says, hey, best service we've had in a long time. You're awesome. So appreciate you. If there's anything I can ever do for you, call me. Right. And oftentimes, like servers, for example, when we're out dining, will hang on to that because they say, hey, this, it's a thank you note that says they did a good job. It makes people feel good. And in turn, that you can provide a good quality service to that individual, but use them everywhere. You overhear somebody. As I was talking to this salesperson yesterday, I said, if you're walking to get your burrito at Chipotle and you're signed up to get your food there, and you happen to hear someone at the table over talking about how they need to replace their car, inject yourself into the conversation, not rudely. You have to be tactful about it, but inject yourself in. It's like, hey, excuse me, I just happened to overhear your conversation. Here's what I do for a living. You have to be willing to promote and advertise yourself if you want automotive sales to be your career. You can't stand back and just wait, right? I mean, put yourself out there. Use business cards the right way. Number 9, volunteer in your local community for things you believe in, right? When you're volunteering, and this is not to be self-serving, it truly is not. I volunteer on multiple at multiple places. I'm on different boards for volunteer reasons. It's because they are organizations that I believe in. So it's not meant to be a self-serving tool. It's meant to get your name out into the community, do something you believe in, make a change. And over time, what'll happen is people will learn who you are. They'll see and learn the content of your character. And then just over time, by you being there and being a genuine, real human being that is willing to take care of other people, then those people will often think of you when it comes time for their automotive needs, because they know who you are, what you're about, all those things. And they know that you're a real individual instead of somebody that's just another salesperson, right? Number 10, and the final one, be responsive. So if you're acting on one or more of these things, because this is 10 total things, right? So there's 9 actions. The 10th one is be responsive. If you're acting on at least one of these things, then when somebody picks up the phone and calls you, or sends you an email, or sends you a text, or reaches out on social media, or you bump into them at the grocery store and they say, hey, I'm interested in XYZ car, then guess what? You need to do, like I said in number 1, do what you say you'll do. Call them back. Give them the information. Find out what it is they're looking for and provide an actual service. Right? So, and that's one of the things that can become overwhelming. If you're doing more than one of these, you'll have people start to bombard you from all kinds of directions and have more business than you can possibly imagine right now. So it's so important that you keep it to a point that you can manage it. You need to be able to manage these things. And if you try all of these and they all work, fantastic. You'll do great in automotive sales. Some of them may not work for you. Some of them you may not like, and that's okay. These are things that previously have worked for me or have worked for other people that I've known. And so as I'm going through this, I'm saying, just act. Take some action. Start doing the stuff. If I were you, I'd try all 10. So I'm curious. That's all 10 of my ways to find customers as a car salesperson. Here's what I would ask you. If you watched or listened or tuned in, you see this pop up somewhere, please Participate in those comments. Tell me, what are ways that you have seen success to generate your own customers? Because I guarantee you there's a bunch of other ones that I haven't thought of, and there's some awesome different ways out there. So thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Front tonight. Remember, I do this every single Wednesday and Sunday. Post the episode up on YouTube, pop it on the podcast, and put it in the blog. So make sure and please tune in, subscribe, check it out. And until I see you next, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.